It's a kooky, wacky, crazy, loopy world we're living in. So Craig decides to close up shop to live in a cabin. And while he's there, he talks to corn and birds become his friends. A dolphin shares the keys to life, the fun will never end. It's a wild and rowdy, loud and shouty earth we're spinning on. So Craig put down a payment on a quiet little home. The home is far from quiet, it's a lot that's going on. A wormhole opens up and now his twin is in it.
Craig Robinson here, and I'm coming to you live from what I like to call my productivity zone. It's here that I keep meticulous notes of all my intellectual doodads, idea thingies, and blood doodles. Oh, sorry, that's a black dude doodle. We've got an episode on the hopes and dreams of others. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna get back to my blood doodles. Why is someone faxing me here? Weird. Attention, Craig. Read the next segment. Set up the next segment, bro. You tripping? I feel like we've been through this. If you're still reading this, why? You really need to set up the next segment. Who is that? Good thing I didn't accept that offer from my neighbor to trade his glove collection for my fax machine. End of the day, late-breaking updates are worth more than the finest crafted Corinthian leather gloves. Now let's see, how should I set this up? Got it. Now, if you recall in season 1, I mentioned my extensive doll collection. Well, did y'all know as much as I love to go into very, very specific detail about all of my wigs, I'd rather not. That level of color would stay between me, the wigs, and the celebrity skulls that they once laid upon. Coochie coochie. Pop quiz, hotshots. When I say the name Annie, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Red dress, red hair. Are you okay, Annie? Annie! Oh, you're okay. If all that is true, you wouldn't be wrong. But after this next piece, you'll see another Annie who was on her way to being on the Mount Rushmore of Annies. The short film we are about to peep was created by and she edits. From SZA to Ciara, she somehow finesses this all while still being in school. She's 23, y'all, and I'm in awe. When I was 23, I was still trying to talk my way into the Clever Club. Now, without further ado, your attention, please. A short film by Annie Bursey. $19.89. I'll see you later.
You're not about to walk in this house without saying hello to me.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, baby. How was school today?
Another great day of school, Mom.
Well, good. Get those school clothes off, get on your homework, wash up, and I'll be ready with dinner in about an hour.
Yes, you can be beautiful or shine and sleek.
When I'm not in my school uniform, I like to be fierce. And I want my hair to be fierce too. That's why I use Lioness, the permanent relaxer cream system with constant conditioning.
So fly, so free. So fly, so free. Yes, you can be beautiful with shine and sleek. No more pain, easy to maintain. Finally, tame that man.
Lioness has successfully relaxed over 20 million heads of hair.
Ask your professional stylist for Lioness, the premium no-lie conditioning relaxer. Available in your local beauty supply. Are you ready to be fierce?
Riley!
Oh, my bad, Mom.
Dinner's ready. Cut that off. Now. Riley, you didn't remind me that Monday is picture day.
What? Oh, I forgot.
Pour something for us. Let me get my purse.
Mom, I want to perm my hair for picture day.
And ruin those precious curls of yours? No.
Please, I can pay for it myself. I just want to try something different.
You don't perm your hair for a day and then rinse it out when you change your mind. A perm means permanent. Why not spend your money on a washing set instead?
Maybe because I want it to be permanent.
Well, maybe you don't know what you want. And besides, you're too young to be putting those harsh chemical products in your hair. I don't want your hair to fall out because you don't know how to manage it.
I mean, you manage just fine, Mom. Why can't you just teach me?
What's the rush? Why now?
I just want everyone to see a better version of me. I want to be a better version of me. Plus, you look so good with straight hair, Mom. Imagine how good I look.
Lord. You want straight hair? Well, you're gonna have to take care of it. You hear me? It's a big commitment, and it requires a ton of maintenance.
Yes, of course.
Lord. Tomorrow, when I'm at work, you go to the beauty supply store for me, okay? All right. I look good with straight hair. Lord have mercy.
Sir, what is this?
You don't see anything wrong here?
You don't see you're missing a shade here? So this is the darkest shade of brown you guys have.
Really?
Might as well be the color of the bottom of my foot.
Right.
These are all the shades they have. You have a problem? Take it up with them.
Ooh, he did not.
Did you see that?
I saw it.
You saw it. You know what? I don't understand why you guys sell all of these things in our neighborhood, but you can't get the color of our skin.
And if it's not that, y'all assume every black person here is stealing.
Right.
And I see your eyes glued to the cameras every time we come in.
Right. You know, this one is better than the one on Beverly. Because that lady be following us around. She tripping.
Ah, so are you buying something or?
No. No, we're not. And sir, watch us open up our own beauty supply store and run all of you out of business.
You know what? Let's go.
We're done.
Buy something?
Next. Next. Next.
That is how you paint a picture. Black girl magic strikes again. Keep killing them, Manny. Maybe find a little part for your boy in your next one. And by little part, I mean the lead. I want the lead. Consider that my audition, Annie. My assistant will send the footage. Speaking of oceanic levels of black girl magic, cowabunga, sis. Surf's up, queen. Don't worry, I'm not getting into young adult novel naming, even if I do have titles for my series for days. No, these are all things you'll likely hear coming from the waves the ladies of Black Girl Surf are making as they use surfing to break the chains of the patriarchy. Led by a fearless leader who calls herself the original Dorothy, you're gonna be blown away by this one. So let's do it. Your attention, please. Meet Rhonda Harper.
My connection to the water is very spiritual. It's my church, it's my home. It's a place where I get respite. So when I go to the cove, I can go back to the time when I was 4 and my dad taught me how to swim. It's a connection to my family. And I am free. I see the utopia that I dreamed about. The lighthouse leads me home. I know that's my place. I know that's my space. This is my journey. I created the Africa Surf International and Black Girl Surf for lack of representation in the professional surf industry. Black people weren't being shown. These girls are coming from a patriarchal system. It's cultural, it's religion, there's a lot of variables in there. They come from disadvantaged homes, communities without access. We give them, through surf therapy, the opportunity to express who they are, who they want to be, how they see the future. Surf therapy is quite needed, especially if you're a person of color and you're coming into a sport and people aren't used to seeing diversity. There's always some judgment. Okay? If you prepare emotionally as well as physically, then you have the perfect athlete because they're able to adjust easily. They're working within themselves to find their own agency so that they can go out and represent themselves and excel. Relax. These are teenage girls, and it's very challenging when you don't know who you are yet, and to put you in a spotlight like we did with Haju. It's very difficult to be able to navigate who you are and who you think the outside world wants you to be. So what we're trying to teach here is to keep who you are. You can be who you are and still rock a wave. It's hard to believe that on this day where I have peace in the water, back home, I'm seeing riots and racism. And here I am in Africa, my second home, watching all of this happen. Where I am in this environment and being on this island It's not only very emotional, but it should remind people of where Black people started and how we maintained and survived through all of the injustice that has happened since we left this rock. My dad always says, learn a trade, go back into the community, and help. I came across the transatlantic slave route to do just that. When I'm in Senegal, the entire village comes out to greet you and make sure that you're okay. I can breathe here. These girls just watched me come to a country that is not my own and excel. And now they have a home. I have a home. These girls see that there's something better out there if you just believe in yourself. So my girls have seen the world in a different light, and that is why we're here.
Thank you. Every day, time. Thank you. Day you move together, me for you. Thank you. For them, everyone, you together. Love you. I 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 love you. My baby. We love you. I 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 love you. Love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
This is me being instantly inspired, y'all. Call it inspiration. Rana has single-handedly just created yet another Black surfer. Wish me luck, y'all. I want to help tear down the patriarchy too, one wave at a time. Look what the tide flowed in. It's my dolphin homie, Cedric. Probably just swimming through if I had to guess. Okay, cool. Shouldn't be a problem with that. Take notes at a master of his craft. For this last piece, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Indiana Jones is real, but he's not white, and he doesn't steal stuff. He's Black and young and cool as hell, and is using the power of archaeology to shine a light on our Black ancestry and its profound impact on the world at large. Plus, the dude may or may not have discovered how to time travel. I'm not legally permitted to go further with that one, so without any more long talk, your attention, please. Meet Justin Dunavant. Hey, you want to see a movie after this? Bet. What you want to see? Free Willy.
Are you a time traveler?
I do travel through time. That's one of the superpowers that we as archaeologists possess. My name is Justin Dunavant. I'm an archaeologist, and I'm here in Nashville, Tennessee at Vanderbilt University. Traditionally, I would be in St. Croix right now. I would be excavating, we'd have a number of students. Once we uncover what it is that has been damaged, distorted, or lost, we can begin to think about restoring some of those things. And for me, that's the exciting part. I think as researchers and academics, we often get caught up in identifying problems, but are rarely in a position to offer solutions to the problem. And I think that's the most exciting part. I had two older brothers, and so I was hanging out with them and their friends most of the time. So, by the time I hit middle school, they were in high school. I started college when I was 16 years old. So it was me and another friend of mine that were the two youngest kids at Howard University then. I wanted to travel, I wanted to see the world. Archaeology is really something that stuck out to me and spoke to me when I got to college. I wanted to study abroad my first year, and the only trip that didn't have a prerequisite was to go on an archaeology dig in the rainforest in Belize. And so I had never been camping before, but I said, sign me up. I lived in the rainforest for 6 weeks. We were excavating a Mayan plaza. I just thought, this is amazing. I was traveling 3 times a month, so at least within 10 days, I was on a plane going somewhere. I was rarely home, and actually I explained to people when I wrote my dissertation, I was doing fieldwork in Ethiopia, and I think I was home for maybe 3 months out of the whole year. That's a life that we live as archaeologists out of necessity. So you really start to value what it is that you actually need, and you learn how to make home wherever you end up. The focus and theme of what I do is really centered around Africa and the African diaspora over the last 500 years. Doing this work has really opened my eyes to the idea that there's a whole other aspect of history. Oftentimes we think of pirates, we look at Captain Morgan and all these other pirates and Blackbeard, but we rarely understand or interrogate the fact that a lot of them were involved in the slave trade. Blackbeard the pirate, his ship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, was a slave ship that he captured with over 200 Africans on board, and he sold those Africans. It's part of a much like having to make new life in this place that wasn't traditionally theirs. I draw strength mainly from ancestors. I know that I'm not doing this work alone. These are the cabins where the enslaved people would have lived. Over time, they were rebuilt and repurposed. These were actually lived in up until the 1960s. One of the most interesting finds that we found and that you can actually see in this imagery is if you zoom in, we actually dug down to bedrock, which is the foundation of the island, and you can see what we call post holes in the bedrock. So these were actual holes that would have been dug into the bedrock to affix some sort of post. So that leads us to assume that perhaps enslaved Africans were repurposing these post holes that were created by indigenous people. From that point, we have to completely reconfigure and rethink how it is that we understand Black history in America. Understanding what they were up against, what they've been through, what decisions they had to make, allows us to add a more humanized component to their life and their story. Diving with a Purpose is a nonprofit organization founded around 15 years ago. A group of Black scuba divers, they got into these conversations with National Park Service and realized National Park Service has underwater parks just like they have land parks. The problem is they're vastly understaffed and underutilized. These recreational divers said, well, we love scuba diving, we'd love to help and assist. More importantly, one of the national parks was actually looking for a slave shipwreck. And at that point, National Association of Black Scuba Divers said, well, we'll offer our talents to help you search for these slave shipwrecks. Part of my work now is also trying to not just understand the events as they occurred, but the mentalities that allowed them to occur so that we can begin to change some of those. Afrofuturism allows us to think through and explore what could have been if the past had been different. Afrofuturism allows us to dream, to imagine, to think about what can be. I've got a few things in the works right now. The main project is in Africatown, Alabama. The last slave ship to enter the United States, the Clotilda, was located recently. And that created a whole new resurgence of memory, of history, of excitement and exploration, and then also an intensive sort of revisiting of the history of the town of Africatown. The town was founded by the people who came on that ship. A few years after the ship arrived, slavery was abolished. And so those people who were brought on that ship found themselves now, quote unquote, free in the United States. And they came back to the area where the ship dropped them off at and established a community in Africatown. I honestly think archaeology in Africatown will be one of the most significant archaeology sites in the 21st century if we do it right. I think Indiana Jones raised awareness about archaeology, but didn't attract enough people to it. When I talk to younger people today that actually get into archaeology, a lot of them really get into it for similar reasons that I did. This idea that I'm constantly working on a new project and exploring new ideas that people either haven't thought about or that people are now thinking about in a new way. Archaeology provides us with another archive that we can use to explore Black history.
Golden baby, black gold with the diamond soul.
I would just tell the future generation, remember, remind, and restore. You have a responsibility to your community, and you have a responsibility to the world. There's really nothing that's outside of your capabilities as a human being. Anything and everything is possible, and I just ask you to tap into that and live your life to the fullest.
Justin is the man, and not just because of this gift that just showed up. If anyone else is feeling gifty, at the bottom of the screen is my Cash App. Gift away. Now, let's see what we have here. Oh my God. The history. Look at it. It's glorious. Glorious! Well, that's all the time we have for today, y'all. I'm gonna go find a place in the cabin for this illustrious piece of history I was just gifted. Remember, y'all, don't forget to find what you love, share it with the world, and scream from the mountaintop, your attention, please. Hey, football dummies, give me a hand in here. What's up, y'all? Thanks for watching Your Attention Please, hosted by yours truly. As always, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories of Black excellence. See you next time.